Okay, so here we go. Section 2.3, subtracting integers. The key with subtraction is all this is the same as addition. It's just remember that subtraction means add the opposite. So the key is keeping track of the opposites. So for number 14, and again, you don't need to just always do this right now, but you need to be able to do this mentally every time. It's 4 minus 8. That is a positive 4 minus a positive 8. If there's no sign between there, we assume that's a positive 8. So really what we're doing then is we're going to add the opposite of positive 8. Well, the opposite of positive 8 is negative 8. And now we can go back to what we did the day before. So, it's more to the left than it is to the right. So I know it's going to be negative. And then 8 and 4, how far apart are they? Well, 8 minus 4 is 4, so it's negative 4. Now for number 20, they were nice enough, they didn't put the parentheses there, they were nice enough though to give us the sign of the 14 written in. It's negative 15 minus a negative 14. Oh, well I'm subtracting a negative. That means I'm adding a positive. So negative 15 plus positive 14 ends up giving us, well, this is more to the left than it is to the right again. So it means it's going to be negative. And then 15 and 14 are 1 apart, so negative 1. Number 26. That's the next one we'll look at. Number 26. So at the end of the first round of a game show, Jillian had a score of 40 points, and Marty had a score of negative 50 points. Oh, poor Marty. Well, unless maybe being negative is good. I don't know. Either way, the question is what's the difference between their two scores? Now, again, the key is difference, which means subtraction. And when you do subtraction, you got to use the order they give you. So they said 40 points first, negative 50 points second. So it's really 40 minus negative 50. A lot of times too, what you'll do is you'll do larger minus smaller. And this is larger because it's to the right, smaller is to the left, negative's to the left. So again, 40 minus a negative 50, well that's the same thing as saying a positive 40 plus a positive 50. And 40 plus 50 is simply 90. So they're 90 points apart. So if it's good to be positive, Jillian is winning by 90 points. If it's good to be negative, she's losing by 90 points. Number 34. Well, this one we need multiple colors for. Let's do red, green, and blue. Green will be 3. Red will be 8. And negative 12 will be blue. So it says A minus B minus C. So A is negative 3 minus positive 8. So we got to put this as plus 8 because that's what B is, positive 8. Minus negative 12. So now if we write this out in our, kind of formal sense, it's negative 3 plus negative 8, and then plus the opposite of negative 12, which is positive 12. That doesn't need to be there. So I have negative 3 plus negative 8 plus positive 12. Well, again, my little trick is do the negatives together first because they're going to keep the same sign. They're both going to the left. 3 and 8 together is 11, so negative 11. Adding it to a positive 12. Well, it's 12 to the right, 11 to the left. It's more to the right than it is to the left, so it's positive. And the question is how far away are 12 and 11? They're 1 away. So positive 1. And you don't need the plus sign there. If it's not written in there, if it just would have been this, it's understood to be positive, but I like to throw it in there, especially for this, kind of remind us why it's there. All right, and then last one from section 2.3, negative 2,200 minus negative 3,500. Just doing bigger numbers just for the practice, but the idea holds the exact same. Right now, I have negative 2,200 minus a negative 3,500. That's really going to be negative 2,200 plus, switch that, and then switch the opposite of that, well, positive 3,500. So, to solve this problem, the question is, what direction are we going more? Right or left? Well, positive is the bigger one, so I'm going more to the right, so I know it's plus. And then the bigger number itself is 3,500. Smaller one's 2,200. 1,300. So positive 1,300. Okay. That's section 2.3, and again, if you have any questions, just come in, see me after class or before school, and we can talk.